Yeah, it was Campbell soup for poor people.
Right? And I'm like, Campbell's is expensive.
I know that was an
See,
expensive soup. What was I was
there's
thinking
I was
earlier?
eating a
What
$15.
Brooks Brothers brand.
what was that other soup called? I was thinking this afternoon. What was that other soup?
Progresso.
What was that other soup called that was
Progresso
really
was
good?
that's when you
Well,
you make
Progresso, we didn't drink Progresso when we eat Progresso when we was, well,
Mm-mm.
not me anyway.
we
Was
never
it
bought
hefty?
soup. We made soup. We didn't buy soup like that.
What was a hefty, hearty soup? Hefty. It was really
But
good.
that was, Hefty was still by Campbell.
Campbell
Oh, it's still by Campbell? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
it was
on a football
hearty
commercial.
pieces of beef or something like that.
Yeah,
The
yeah. It
chunky
had
steak, that
big
was
chunks
still
of meat.
Campbell though.
Okay.
Campbell.
All right. So go ahead, Sabrina, now that we're recording.
No, I was saying something, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't read far enough to get to if it was addressed. But when she got the note from her aunt Agnes, the first thing I thought of was maybe her aunt was passing this whole time
Yeah.
as white, but
Exactly.
she was
Mhm.
black. That's why
Right.
she didn't die. Because if
Right.
everyone else died, she should have died too, right?
Right.
So I felt like
Mhm.
right away I was like, I think that aunt might have been passing, and then it was ironic because her husband was so racist. He's the one that put Charlie in jail, right? And I'm like, so I'm curious to know if, as we get to the end, or as that story develops in Orange Beach, if it was we're there, but we're the people who've been passing all along
It
for
has
white,
to
but
be
we're
that
not.
that's the only premise they can go by, right? That's
Yeah.
the only thing that makes sense. That's the
And I
only
think
one.
last week that kind of came up. We started saying, when they said there's a lot of us. A lot of us what? I think you
Yeah.
mentioned that, Dr. Ray, that here are people who don't realize,
Mhm.
how mixed they are because they present white, right?
Well,
And so,
and the other thing too is how many, like, you had people who passed in the turn of the century, right? Their mom was
mhm.
black, their mom was light enough to pass. They were raised white. They had children raised who white or are white, or what do
Mhm.
you say, right? But they don't know any different. So in their minds, they're no longer passing. You can't, because passing is a cognitive,
Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's an
deliberate.
intentional, deliberate thing.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
you don't know that you are mixed, right, you're no longer passing. So what, because you just don't know. Now it's a little bit different for Sydney because Sydney knew something was off, right? But maybe
She
Agnes
was
doesn't
special. She
even
knew she
know.
was special.
Yeah, she was
She knew she
special.
was special.
Right, right.
But the
And
fact that
that
her
doesn't
mother
address it, but
never, the fact that her
but
mother never told her this lie that Charlie left them, you know, and all this time, married this white man, knowing that she's biracial, um, raising her not to love both sides of the coin,
He raised her as a white,
not to
as a
embrace,
young
raise her
white.
as a white girl.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Um,
hold on a second. Does this say at any point that her mother said that her father was black? Does it
no,
I
say
she
think
that?
said
she did. I think she did. I
she
think Sydney knew she was black. She just
knew
didn't
he,
identify with it because she wasn't raised in that environment.
And
Like
she
my
but the
knew
nieces
his
and
mother,
my
mom.
no, that's
nieces
not
and
what I'm
nephews,
saying. I'm
they
saying
know they're black.
the mother told Sydney that he left them.
Well, the
So,
mother told her brother that he raped her. So the mother's
right. So, but Sydney
accusing the
doesn't
sister of
know.
lying
The
completely
brother
on
Sydney
that.
caught
doesn't know
brother
that.
caught
And
the auntie, the brother
Sydney
caught
doesn't,
them.
he
And
never
he
told, the mother
raped
never
them.
told Sydney that your father's in jail. Why is your father in jail? Because I lied.
Right.
I lied and I said, so Sydney thinks all this
That he just
time
left
that
them.
he left them.
Yep.
But my question
And I wonder
is,
if Charles ever
does
corrects
she
her. As of now,
know?
he hasn't.
Does she know that
I
she's
don't think she
African
knows she's
American?
black. Well, she
I
knows
think
now
she
because
does. I think
she
she's
does.
always known because she talks about being different from her brothers. She
Yeah.
Right.
talked
She
and
said she was different. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
yeah,
she knows,
she
but she
was
just doesn't
aware
know
of
the
it.
word.
She straightens her hair, like all of that stuff. Remember when the people dolled her
Yeah.
up?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
like, "Oh
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And even
But
like I
but the
have to
author doesn't
make me
establish
feel good. I
the
don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to do that anymore." She admitted to herself that it felt like natural that
But
environment.
one
If
of the
she after the
flaws in the
bath.
book, one of the flaws in the book is that the author doesn't take time to tell us exactly what Sydney knows. And he doesn't really tell us how did she know to call him
Yeah, he told.
at how does he know? To call her,
The
She,
to call
mother,
him
yeah. No,
the
no,
the
mother
mother, I
no,
told
know
her.
he know
no,
the mother told her the
no, no,
last name. The
no,
mother
no, no.
said, no,
Yeah,
hold on
the
a
last
second.
name,
Hold on a second. Hold on. The mother told him her the last
Right.
name of the father. Yeah, I got
yeah.
that. But how does she know to contact Howard University? I
She
never
she told
understood that.
she wrote it in there. If you read it, it's
She
written
said she
that she
searched.
went through the social media and then she
Yeah.
found out
And
something
she
of the,
found him through social media.
yeah, because he was taking the classes online. I mean, he was taking some science classes or engineering classes, and he was at the university when, and then she found out where he is.
But she said the last name, right?
Yeah. There could be many, but she found out through some directory and things like that.
Yeah,
See,
she found
She
to
him in the
me, that's
she
a
directory.
hole in the story. That's a hole in the story. And then the other thing,
That's
going
how
back
my
to
brother
last,
found my father at the library, and the front white pages is not a far-fetched story.
but did she? But did the
We have an
mom?
identity
Does the
issue, but I'm
bump?
just saying you could find people, and this was in the
The
60s. What was I
does
saying?
the but does the
87.
but does the book tell us that mom said his name is Charlie?
Yes, it
Can't
does.
Charlie? It does. Okay.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Because
right.
she's named after him. And he realized that when he said the door, he said, "Oh, Sydney is named after me."
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
she named him Sydney. I find that
Okay.
weird though that she still had the baby though. They must have been
Yeah,
real pro-life
no,
or
we talked about
something.
it last week. So yeah,
Okay,
so if
we
they
don't
were
gotta
so
go back.
race, if they were so race, if the brother was so racist, there's no way in the world she would have had that baby. And then so yeah, that's what I was meant to say early. I was thinking about this morning. So this is another issue with the author. Okay, the brother's extremely racist, right? So you don't have the baby, or if you but you are that defiant enough to have the baby, and we know the brother is more likely to say you cannot have this baby. So why weren't you that defiant to say this man didn't rape me? Make sense? Does
Makes
that make
sense, but
sense? Am I making sense?
possibly she could have thought that in a fit of rage, maybe they would have killed him or killed her, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, okay, okay. Day one, you say he raped me, but during the court, you don't say, "Hey, look, he didn't really rape me." But you're defiant enough to have this baby, this mixed race baby. It'd be much easier just to abort the baby.
maybe she couldn't. Maybe she could have.
Maybe it
We
was too
talked about
late.
that. Remember, we talked about that last week that she may have found that she was pregnant way too late
And they might be stone cold
to
pro-lifers, don't believe in
and
do
abortion.
and
anything about it.
and I suggested that also last time when we were talking that she didn't want to get it aborted, and because she was sick. I mean, like she couldn't find the enough courage to tell how she loved that boy, and she didn't want to get it aborted, and
But
that's why she's saying,
she didn't love Charles. You
yeah,
don't do
she
that to
did,
somebody you love. You
she
don't
did.
know.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah, I understand, but
no,
Charles
yeah,
was
but
addicted to no.
yeah, but
That's
Charles was
why she
no.
addicted
named
to
that
the
baby
exotic.
Sydney.
No,
Sydney
no,
is his
three
no,
first
days. They
name.
had only
no,
three
no,
days.
no.
They had only 3 days together.
She didn't love Sydney. You don't do that to somebody you love, and then
Yeah, but
never tell Sydney
He
the
never
truth,
corrected it.
I hear
and
stories
never
like that
correct
all
it.
the
No
time in the United
nonsense.
States. So I
No, no,
gotta
no.
refute that one. You hear stories like that all the time.
I
That
think
That
so
women
what
would
her
turn
at
around
no
and
point
say that the man raped them, say that the
and
man
no
raped them as opposed to
and no but
admitting that they was with him.
at no point say pull Sydney to the side and say, hey, look, you're growing up now. Let me tell you the truth. Your father I really loved, and this is what I did to him. You
because
don't say
no,
that at
because
any
Probably
that
point.
makes
was
her
gonna
look
tell her
bad.
when she turned 18 and graduated from college or something, but they went into the water. She probably was gonna tell. She sent Charles the note. Well, she sent him the note.
No,
That
but
was a
wait a minute. But that makes her look bad. That makes if she has been this girl's world
of
as a mom,
course.
for her to
Exactly.
say that I falsely accused this man, I think we're looking at it from today's lenses. But if we go
Mm,
back historically, right,
mm.
the black experience in America that time, if a black man was with a white woman, him and her can die. Like
Yeah,
that's
but remember this is modern times. This is not in the
is it
past.
modern
This is
time?
modern times.
Okay.
This is recent times. This is not
yeah,
like in
he
the
published
60s.
it last year,
Yeah.
24, I
So
think.
this so
No,
this
I know
took
he
this
published
what
it, but
took
I
place.
thought it was set in
No. The setting, Sydney is 18, right? So that means Sydney would be born in 20, what?
Yeah, the setting
20,
is modern times. We said social
yeah,
media, so it
yeah,
can't
Oh
be
yeah,
back in the
you're right.
60s.
yeah. So,
Correct.
Sydney was born in 2010 or something like that. I don't know. I
It
can't math.
gotta
My
it,
math ain't
it
mathing.
it's in the age of social media.
Social
So we
media.
gotta know
Right,
social media was getting big. So at the
right,
very least, it
right.
was within the
Yeah.
last 20 something, 30 something
So
years.
in
So
these
yeah.
modern
Well,
times that
I want to switch off of the imical part.
Okay.
But he do have some interviews. I know Dr. Daniel Black and somebody else are interviewing him. I didn't watch the interview yet. The author himself. And when Cameron and them finish with it, he gonna be on their show live. So I plan on being on for that. For that to
did
listen
you
to
watch
him.
did you see the link? We watched a part of it last week.
I watched something you sent me. I watched a part of that. I got the book club link. I watched the book club.
Yeah, did you
I
see
watched
the
Yeah,
y'all
that's
interview in
talk.
the book club link? We
I
watched
don't
the
know. I
interview.
didn't see his interview. I know I saw it, so maybe that's where I saw it at. With him with Cebo Campbell with Dr. Black, the
yeah,
interview.
He was with
yeah.
Dr.
Maybe
Black
that's
in
where I
the
saw it at then
library.
when y'all sent it
Yeah.
then, because I did see that. Yeah. But I will say this. I'm enjoying the book. Unless something really tragically happened, you can put me down for a 5 in case we finish next week. Because like it explored like a thought process that I never had to explore. So he's exploring that, and it's just some things are like so funny and cool. It's just like electricity. We not paying for that electricity. Everybody got that grid. Or when he said like the McDonald's, he was like, this might have been in the first part. He was like, the McDonald's was there, but the Golden Arches was down. It was grandma's in the kitchen cooking, and it was just like a place where everybody just came and ate or bought food and just chill and ate and left. It wasn't no how much you got, how much money you got. I like the airport scenes. That was pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
Like certain things I thought was cool. What I really like, y'all guys might have to hold your ears, right? Cover your ears, but I'm gonna say this one.
Lord.
Serafina, she was bad too, because she gave Charles a bad.
What?
Well,
What?
They gave Sydney a
What?
bath
Again, again.
too, but yeah, but in a
Well,
sexual
Sydney
way.
got a bath, but hers was a little different.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Serafina gave Charles a bath, it was a little different because then he wound up saying they was dancing all night and all of that stuff. They woke up together the next morning. It's a whole different scenario. I was like, and she just, and I just like her little, he asking no questions, but she just like, dude, you got to grow up and get your heart together. Like, you can't mess with this if you ain't ready for it. And if you want to take her on the Orange Beach, just go. But this what we doing over here. So I kind of like that they cool. And then when they, initially when we the lead up to the king and the queen, it's like no, they the king and queen of Mardi Gras. But at first it was like, oh, see, they still like I initially thought when Sydney was when they was coming south and they was saying Orange Beach and then somebody was saying the monarchy. I thought that the people that thought that they should have went in the water with the other people. I thought they was gonna claim themselves the kings and the queens. I thought that was gonna be the scenario when they got to where they were going, but it's different. And I like the Miami scenes though, because I do my father's younger sister. She lived in Mobile. I've been there like twice or whatever. But like some stuff you see the buildings, but it's still a different vibe. But I didn't know that. I knew the Africa Town part, but I didn't know like they were the original Mardi Gras in Mobile. Now that I didn't know, so that was interesting. I did learn some new stuff. I like the part that they go like they go to the farm and everybody just work, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of things that I really like about it that like maybe Ray, you saying like they doing the same thing, or maybe they may be oppressive too, but it's more like a freeing thing because you don't gotta work. It's not like the time, like hurry up because or whatever. It's just like, well, we just out here till it get dark. We just chilling today, no time constriction, no money constrictions. I like that. Even at the airport, it was just like you just here for 7 days, you could get to where you was going. No,
But isn't
not
that
no
I
one
have
of
big
a
those
deal.
Hotel
I have a
California, like
question.
a Hotel California scenario where you in this blissful place, but you can never leave? What's
I
the
actually
you
never
can
seen
you can
Hotel
check out
California, so
no, it's the song
the
Hotel
song,
California.
that's how it go. I
You
know
can
the
you can
song.
check out, but you can never leave.
They
I
can never
guess I
get
only
out.
know that. I only know that one line then. Welcome to Hotel California.
No, but if you listen to it's a story,
I'll
and it's
listen to it.
and
Okay.
it reminds me of what Charles and Sydney are going through because they're like yeah, it's blissful, like it's idealistic. It's what, it's kind of like, yeah, this is a cool place, but at the end of the day, they can't leave. She tells Sydney straight up, "You ain't going nowhere until what, 2 years?" She said 2 years. Did she
No,
say
No,
she
I
2 years?
don't
said
think she told
she
her that.
tells
She told
them,
her
No,
she get the
initially.
bath, like,
she said
No, she
no.
says after
No,
Mardi
no,
Gras.
initially. No,
She said
remember the
after
queen.
Mardi Gras.
She
She
said
says
after
after
Mardi Gras
Mardi
she can
Gras,
go.
She said
you
after
guys
Mardi
can
Gras.
leave.
I thought it
But
was
I
like after
don't
2 years.
think, honestly, I don't think, I think they're partly keeping them there to show them something, like to
Yeah,
really get them connected with something.
yeah, but
Sydney
that's
is
that's the.
completely, wait.
Yeah, I got it. I
Sydney
got it.
is completely lost. She's been raised as white. She finally met the man that's who her father. They have no connection. She has one story that she thinks he just up and left, and now
blow
he
your
still
brains out.
he still is not he still has not told her the truth, and hopefully she does learn it. But Sydney is completely lost, and of course you would be if you walked and you saw your whole entire family, your community just walking to various different lakes, waters, and just drown themselves. You would be completely screwed up, of course.
Can can
But
I can I ask you, what do you define
wait,
as
no, I'm
loss?
not finished yet. Wait
Okay.
just 1 second.
All
So
right.
of course you will be completely lost. So I do get that from her, but I do think that they're keeping them there to teach them something, you know.
I
And
no,
like Charlie, one thing I like Charlie, right? It's Charlie, right? Charles.
Charles. Yeah.
Darling,
I
yeah,
think also too, he spent what he was in prison for a while. So even though, he
18
grew up with the
years,
family, he grew up with the
18 years,
family and everything like that. He was in prison for a while before this
18
happened.
years. Yeah,
18, so
How
18
he's in
many?
years.
prison for
18?
18
Same,
years.
same the age of what
Stage
you
of
call
six.
it, this
Okay.
girl,
So
His
he's in
daughter
prison
Sydney's
for
left.
age.
18 years. So he's still carrying that prison mentality, that PTSD, that everything like that. So he messed up too. So while I think that they want to go because he's like, I promise I'm gonna get you to Orange Beach and I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you there. So that's my promise to you. But now it seems like he's finally feeling more attached to something where he wasn't feeling it at Howard. He was teaching and enjoying being a mentor and all that stuff. But finally, it seems like he's getting a connection to
Or
something,
or is he
you
Mm,
know.
being or is he being conditioned?
that's a
Could
Was he being
possibility.
be,
conditioned? So
could be.
because can I ask you a question? And what
Now you could go.
two questions. In what ways, how do you define loss? Because I do agree that Sydney's lost,
That reverse
but
condition.
how and what ways is Sydney lost? Is she lost because she thinks she's white? Or is she lost because her family died in front of her eyes and there's a lot of
Both.
stuff that's not there?
Both, and
I
that's what
think
they trying to
both.
tell her. That's what them walkers are about. The people that's just
Mhm.
walking, they can't seem to really grasp with the reality of what it is now. How do we
Okay.
live our life now?
Okay. So
They
what so
want
here's
what they
my
want what they had before. Like, it
follow
ain't right. It ain't right. They going. It's not right. Something's wrong.
so
So
here's my next question. In what ways is Charlie lost? Because Charlie seems to be pretty grounded.
Tamara just explained it because it's his years in
Yeah,
prison.
but he's coming out
You've
and
been
he's
accused
Yeah,
of
with
the
but
the
it's a
rape of
husband.
your
loss.
own child.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
his
think
okay.
it's
question
a
is that
loss
what he
between the
lost.
years. I think the years
But
that he
but
lost
isn't
in
he's
prison.
pretty, but what evidence do we have to show that he's lost?
But remember when
We're
he was
assuming.
walking with the
He
king
said it.
said,
He's
"Do you
saying
know
it.
who you are?" And he said, "I know who I am." And then he said, "Well, who are you?" And he wasn't able really to answer that question. I
Yeah,
think
but
he
none of
just
us,
had
but hold
to,
on a second. That's the one of those questions that none of us are really having
but
asked. We can ask the king.
we're going back to
Yeah, we
what
can.
has lost,
So that
right?
my third questions would be
He's talking about Charlie.
these king and queen folks. What makes them the expert? What makes them the expert on what's right, what's wrong, what's grounded,
But
what's
they
not
never said
grounded?
that. Remember, the queens and the king, they both said that our role was to advise
But what makes
and to
them
listen.
advisors? How are they? That's my
The
question.
elders in their
How are they
community,
any
the
different than
elders in their
anyone else?
family. They the community people. They was the main ones that was that have the connection with back home, going back and forth. I think it's
But
Haiti or
that don't
whatever.
make
They the
them
ones that.
so
No,
why are
they're
they
the king
holding
and queen
people
of
out?
Mardi Gras.
But
They
why
are
are
the
they,
king and queen of Mardi Gras. It's
I
a
get it.
contest that they won.
I get it. But what gives
You
them the
giving them
right?
too much.
What gives them the right to hold someone
The same thing
hostage?
that gives you the right because you may be knowledgeable in that thing. They're not holding them hostage. They just saying, hey, listen, come to
They
grips
can't
with your
leave.
reality.
They can't physically
Who
leave.
said they can't leave?
He held them. He said you can't leave. They cannot leave. They cannot physically leave.
But they just saying that they ain't trying to hold them people hostage deal like
I
that.
have a couple
We're
of
gonna
They
see. We're
questions.
gonna
cannot
see.
leave. They
All
can't
right, look.
leave.
Okay, okay.
I just
We'll
want
find out. Yeah,
a
but until the
husband.
Mardi Gras, yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm ready
Yes,
whenever.
go
Okay,
ahead,
if I held any one of you people hostage and told you can't leave until after Christmas, okay, I'm going to jail.
But he's saying not that you can't leave, just like hold your horses and just like wait and just
All
get
right.
No,
acclimated to the situation,
they
get used to us. Because
physically can't
remember,
leave.
Charlie
But
gonna fix
No,
that
I agree
openly
with
thing.
Ray.
He's
They
gonna fix
can't.
that
let's
They're
thing
not letting
too.
them
look
leave.
here. There is a point that they cannot hold against someone's will for a
No, but they
minute.
are holding them though. They can't
Yeah,
leave.
that's what he's trying to say, that anybody cannot hold any other person without his will or agreement for a minute even. So that's Mardi Gras is even far too far away. Okay, Dr. Mahasan, you had a question?
I think one of the things that I would really like to address, and I'd like to get everybody's thought on, is that Sydney is starting to see herself in a different light, right? She's starting to question identity, right? We know she's been questioning identity all along, but she couldn't put her finger on it because everybody always said this, she's special. This is special about her. That is special about her. And now she gets to see, I'm thinking about the scene. Remember, she comes in and she meets the queen, and then she sees these women, and their hair is naturally done. And then she meets the daughter, Nona,
Nona.
right? She meets the daughter who's not that much older than her, maybe a year or two. And Nona is so, refined and
Cultured.
clear about culture, but not only culture, but clear about her place in that society they've created, clear about
Yeah,
who she is. And she handles Sydney in a way with acceptance and love, like clearly this young woman who is a black woman, whether she wants to accept it or not, but who's also a white woman. I mean, if we're honest about it, um, doesn't doesn't see herself as a part of that community. And so Sydney then starts to look around Nona's room, and she's, in awe of the things that Nona has. But when she looks on Nona's dresser, not the dresser, the vanity, and she sees like all of these hair products, right? Um, I think that says something that kind of like pushes her to kind of question her identity. And so my question to everyone is Sydney, do you think that at that point, Sydney starts to feel more alike than unalike to her father or this community that she meets in Mobile?
Can I answer real quick?
Yes,
All
please.
right, so I'm gonna refer back. I'm gonna refer back to something that Skipper said to Charles. Remember, I don't ask me what
Sailor.
chapter it was.
Sailor
Huh?
said.
Sailor. I don't know why I
Sailor,
keep on
yeah.
calling him Skipper. The sailor said to Charles. Remember, they were talking about fatherly advice. Remember that? Okay. And what did Skipper Sailor? What did Sailor say to Charles? Sailor said, "You got to let them go. You got to let them be whoever they want to be and love them." Remember that? Now, I find that, and I think the author intentionally did this because now we have the Mardi Gras family, king and queen community. They're not letting them go. They're grooming, in my opinion, my honest opinion, they're grooming Sydney and Charles to be a certain way, especially Sydney. So it's a different backdrop from what
To be a
Skipper
what?
said.
You said they're training them to be a what?
To
in
be
a
this,
certain
to
way.
be black, to follow their way of thinking, to follow
No,
their way. Not say not. I'm not going to say to be black because what does that mean? To
yeah.
follow that, to follow that way, their way of thinking. They're specifically
Decolonize their
thinking.
brain. That's what they trying to tell them,
Yeah,
is decolonize their
but
mind.
again, who? But again, my position would be, who are they to do that, right? So I find that
Right.
interesting. I find that interesting that in the chapters before they get to Alabama, they have this conversation with Skipper or Sailor. Sailor and Charles have this conversation about letting your children be
Children go.
whoever they want to be, and you just love them around that. So that's my answer to your question. I don't think I think she's being groomed. I think they're intentionally grooming her in that way. So that's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, they are
Anyone else?
actually.
Anyone
Yeah, I
else have
want to
any
say.
take on that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, they are trying to open up the perspective that they were thinking that they were living in a repressive way, and uh, I'm talking about both in different ways. Charlie in a more repressive way and being the target of the society, and Sydney as from the other race mentally and grown up in a white family and thinking about the black race in a different way. So they are trying to open up that we have cultural values and things, and they, as in one word, if you say, they are trying to groom them up or actually let them explore what their values are. So they are not. That's what they are trying to do in that regard to your question.
and I think
Honestly,
that I think that Sydney is identifying her coming to grips with her identity, and I feel like she's embracing it, but it's just something about her
But
that feels she Sydney keeps defaulting to this thing, but like, this is
but
not right. What are these people are doing? Like at the airport, she was like, this is not fair. They taking over, like
yeah,
that kind of thing.
I
So
understand. I have a question for you especially. Um, as you see that, which Ray has mentioned indirectly, that in the beginning, that if you see whites as supremacists and see this is the kind of if they are in that was the city Alabama, so where they are, so they are trying to do a kind of black supremacist society, whatever they are. So how do you deal with them? This is one of my questions.
But I don't think that it was a black supremacist
Kind of, they are
book. I think I think
they
that
are
is
cool with
showing
the
I think it's showing possibility of what life could be,
okay,
if black people were able to
all
get rid
right,
of all of this stress, get rid of
okay,
worrying about something that's going to happen to them just walking
trauma,
down
the
the street.
trauma,
okay.
yeah.
I think it represents a
All right. So
possibility.
I have the second question, which is related to this one in another way, or the kind of a different, or I mean, zoomed out view. So if you see the writer's point of view that all the white folks are kind of exterminated or wiped out of the earth, or not the earth, but at least the United States.
Yeah, just the
So
US.
how morally you would suggest support, let's say we don't say black, we don't say white, we say any one race wishes the other race to be wiped out. How do you um, support that kind of an idea?
But
Leave that. This is
do we
Easy.
get
It's
anywhere
the
in the book
it's a
where it
book.
said that those black people wished that this happened to them? Even they woke up to
there.
this
Yeah,
thing
but they
happening to
are.
white people,
Yeah,
right?
they are. I mean, whatever the version the writer has written is some kind of heavenly, kind of a
Some
heavenly
type of
image of
divine repayment.
What you
man
call it,
created heaven.
Yasmin? Yasmin, tell you
Although
what's
it's
the
not.
genre? Yasmin,
Is
what's the
Jasmine
genre,
still there?
Yasmin, of the book, the author of the book?
I said science fiction, modern science fiction.
So you get to create your own world. We got avatar blue people looking like Somalians or
Yeah, I
something. They
understand.
blue,
I
you
understand
know.
there are lots of realities that which could have not been said in a more practical way rather than in a utopian world, which is the utopian world they are trying to say, or the writer has said in a utopian way that probably he would not have been able to say that in a more realistic world, right?
Mm.
But what I'm saying, even supporting that that idea in the utopian world where the original problem is somewhere else rather than the race itself. It's the way you
Mhm.
perceive the things rather than the race itself. So it could be any point in time. Someone a new race could come up with a yellow color. Some race could come up with a golden color. Some race could come up with a purple color, maybe 1,000 years after, and then they say we are the supreme
But
creation of
they
the.
never said that they were supreme. They just
But
said the race
I'm talking about this is what is based on on the basis of the color. This whatever the book is, the genre is either it's a fiction or a science fiction or a utopian world or whatever it is, but it is based on the primary base of division is the color.
Mm. But then we have, I don't know if
It's
I
the
want to,
skin color. It's the
yeah,
skin
Yeah,
color
yeah,
which is
I don't know if
against
I
it.
want to go with that all the way because then we have people like, remember they saw the Asian guy, he said
Yeah,
he saw
yeah, there's
twice.
yeah, but
And then you have the people who are at Orange Beach who
okay,
cannot be completely
okay.
or 100%
I will address your point,
saturation,
this point
98%
only.
maybe.
I will address this point with a question. Those people who died, what was their genetic marker or physical marker or physiological marker?
This is
I
what
mean, they
Dr.
had
Ray
to
and I
have,
were
yeah.
talking.
So that's the point that I
okay,
was trying to make
so that's the
earlier.
point. Yeah, so they had to have enough, whoever deemed to be whiteness to be able to die. That's the way I'm looking at it. So
Mhm.
because Sydney was biracial, meaning she had a black
Yeah,
father and a white mother,
It's reverse psychology.
she was deemed, it seems like the writer deemed people like her, biracial
Right.
people, as on the black end of the
Not
spectrum.
necessarily black, maybe
okay,
just a
wait,
person of
wait.
color.
But
My question is
right.
missed
but
out.
So
yeah,
wait,
My
I'm
but
just
question,
let
then
me
my
let me
American
just
point.
finish
kind of
my thought,
mask.
please.
Sure, sure.
So it seems like that the way the writer wrote it, he seemed anybody who was not Caucasian, maybe looked Caucasian or presented Caucasian, they all died because, like you said, they saw the Asian man in, in the airport or wherever they saw the Asian guy, and she was like, "Look, it has to be some people like me because he's here," So it's like I think the way he wrote it was the way he used race was in the very basic forms of black and non-black, meaning or people of color and non-people of color. So considering that Sydney was had some part of color in her because her father was black, she was saved. But those who didn't were drowned. That's the way I'm looking at
But
it as that basis of
yeah,
black
but
and
my question
non-black.
is not that, which I asked
Oh, okay.
Bridget. The question was how you cope up with this one morally, that you want somebody else to die because of his or
I
her
don't think
color.
that I think like Auntie said, I think it's a space to feel like because we know that race is a made up construct when it comes to black, white, and the colors or whatever. And now, if you take that out of the equation, it seems like
The writer
okay,
has killed
this
him.
group is wrong. This
I
group is
mean, the
wrong for
writer,
saying that, but it's this group of people that's left still walking the United States
see,
because
I would put it another way.
ostracized.
Yeah, I would put it in another way.
So I think
See,
it's
all
like a
of
reverse
us,
psychology kind of thing. Like, how would you?
I
Yeah,
would,
How
can
would I
I
would have
just want to say one thing and maybe Ray could drop in here. We didn't create the one drop rule. White Americans created the one drop rule. We didn't create that, right? So if you have one drop, according to them, and I hate using that word them, if you have one drop of black blood, you are black. We didn't create that rule. So they ended up dying by the same rule that they created for everyone else. So everybody at Orange Beach has a drop of something in them. We don't know how
That they're
much,
not considered
1%,
white.
2%,
we
10%,
didn't,
right? We
I
didn't create
mean,
that rule.
Yeah,
White folks
we
created that rule, so they
that's
ended up.
yeah, but
Still
that
went, and even though we haven't gone to Orange Beach yet, they still went and
yeah,
isolated themselves.
And they
yeah, we
still
don't
think
know.
that
They
they're
the
Yeah,
ones
away.
we
other
don't know.
themselves. So it's not like they stayed in place. Like she would have went in Wisconsin. She left Auntie, wherever she going to the Orange Beach. She left Wisconsin, left her there in Wisconsin, and went to Orange Beach instead of just grabbing her up and saying, "Come, let's grow." But they
Yeah, I
still
mean,
flock
like
to let's be by ourselves
probably.
because we're
I
the better
mean,
ones. We're better than them, so we have to be together in one space, not sparsed out wherever
Mhm.
see,
we got
as
left at.
as Dr. Mahasan was saying, and there is nowhere written that the black community didn't ever wish that the white folks would die. But because I think whatever the newer the version, current version, whatever we are reading, that writer has probably whenever you write a book, it goes through several um, publishers, and they would have lots of people who would try to improve it. But between the lines, the message is there that somehow they are feeling more kind of, they are saying we are adjusting to the new situation. We are into a newer situation that we are trying to adjust ourselves, and we are happy about it. We are just like comfortable about it, whatever it's going on. And we were repressed and we were held against even our whatever we didn't do. As being black, you just somebody points out that you did a crime, you don't have to prove it that you did the crime, but you would be punished for that, whatever. And even there are lots of places still there
And
would be
maybe
kind
their
of this kind
family,
of
and maybe the king and queen, maybe their family is doing how they would normally live their life. Otherwise, if they're not there, they would be
I mean,
doing the same thing if
I
it
was
wasn't
going to
for the electricity bill coming in the mail or the water bill coming in the
yeah,
mail or the
this
food
is a very
bill.
ridiculous. I mean, it could be probably in a heaven that you don't have to pay your electricity or gas bills, but it is
No,
out
it's
of
not
proportion. Yeah,
far-fetched. It's that people, it's a capitalist society. Why
I
can't
think they're
everybody have
becoming more
electricity?
community based. I think
Yeah,
yeah. I
they
mean, like
that's
working,
what it, you
because
yeah.
know, it's becoming more less.
Hold on,
Why you
slow,
gotta get rich? Why you gotta get rich and
because
charge me for
okay,
light?
because here's the thing: what we know from history is that socialism doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If we look at South America, we look at every socialistic structure that simply has failed on its face. The mother of the mother of inventions is necessity.
Just not
That
social.
people, it is socialism. It's strict socialism. It's definitely socialism. It's socialism and communism mixed. It's Marxism.
It's
yeah,
community-based living.
No,
yeah.
but
That's called
that's
socialism.
community. No,
That's what
no,
you have
no. Hold on,
everything
hold on,
for.
hold on, hold on, hold on a second. You can have community-based living and have capitalism, right? Okay, and gated communities is strictly capitalism and as community-based living. So it's socialism is this idea
That's
that we
different
put
than
every
community sharing, community farm to table, eating dinner at the table as a group every day.
farmer.
In the gated community, I guarantee you half them people don't know their neighbors.
No, they do know. Actually, they know them very well because they're in a
They don't
community
break bread
center.
together and doing all of
No,
that kind of stuff.
they do break bread. My godfather lives in
Not
a
in
community
not
center.
in most cases. I know people that live in gated
I,
communities too, and not
uh,
everybody know every daggone body.
well, I mean, yeah, of course you're gonna have people who don't know everybody. That's in every scenario. But what I'm saying is, what I'm offering is that we know that socialism and communism typically falls on its face. Even countries that claim they're communist, like China, have very capitalist structures. Even in the Nordic areas, like your Sweden's and your Finlands and your Norways who claim that they're socialistic structures, they actually run off of capitalism. So we know that socialism doesn't work, and that's why you can't have it. That's you have to pay for things. People are not motivated unless they get something out of it. There's a part of our brain called the amygdala that says, "What's in it for me?" And once somebody can't get their share of what they felt like they put into it, then it's all going to fall flat on its face. It just socialism doesn't work entirely. Now, there are parts of capitalism, there's parts of America that's very socialistic. We have socialism in America. You know,
Yes.
our Medicare socialism.
Medicare,
Social
health, and
Security is socialism. The public library is socialism. The postal
Social
service
Security and
is
socialism, we pay for that stuff. Knock it
yeah,
off.
but you don't
All
no
that
no
stuff
yeah,
you
but you
pay
don't
no
for.
pay in the
you don't
capitalistic
pay
way.
what you don't pay what you get out of it. You get more out of it than you pay. You get
Yeah.
way
Not
more out of it.
everybody. Not
No,
depends
well, if you
on
die,
No, no,
if you
no.
die, hold on a second. If you die early, yes, you don't get out of it. But if you live long, you get more out of it than you ever put into it. Trust me.
plenty people put in the Social Security and never get a
No,
dime
trust
out
me.
of it. Believe me.
Trust me. You just
Probably
all
more
you,
do
that
than
slip
don't.
that slip tells you that you get every year what you get out, what you paid into it versus what you're going to get out every month. But but here's the flaw in the thinking of all of this is this idea that no one is repressive or no one wants wealth or no one wants power. It's a part of the human condition because even in socialistic structures, they're always going to have somebody who has more than others. You always going to have that. You'll never escape that. Somebody's going to rob,
Wouldn't that be
someone's going to
okay? Somebody
steal,
stronger,
some
somebody
so
smarter, somebody here longer. I mean, come on.
yeah, you always going to have
The
that. You
point of
can't
it is
avoid
not being,
you can't avoid the human condition is what I'm saying.
yeah, but
You can
not
try all you
converting
want.
time into money and everybody like he was like they were saying before. You like sometimes people just stressed out going back and forth for the simple fact they didn't make it to a destination on
Do
time.
you
Or
do
they
you
gotta meet a deadline and so forth and so on. So
Bridget?
I think that in some the people that's in Mobile, not Mobile, that
If you
want to
look,
be there,
okay,
they are there, and everybody is not in Mobile. These are the people in Mobile
if you
that
look
want to
at
do this
okay,
thing.
let me
It's still people in Chicago. Look where he
let's
was at
look
an hour. He was sleeping on a floor in the dorm in his office somewhere. He didn't even have community in Howard. He didn't
the
have
real
that. His daughter was living in Wisconsin in his house by herself. Auntie had done left and then went to Orange Beach. And she was there by herself with a gun, gonna shoot a kid in the face, like scared to death. So no, they didn't have that, so they don't gotta stay. But it's something that they didn't have before. Either one of them, even poster people in the water, they still them two individuals
okay,
charged
so okay,
community.
I'm getting off my original point. The one of the flaws of the book, and that's trying to answer this question, one of the flaws of the book is this idea that all white people were evil. All right. So what
It didn't
about
say that.
hold on a second. Just hold on. Let me
It
finish
never
my thought.
said that.
Okay, hold on. I got you. I got you. But all white people went in the water, right? All white people who had some type of genetic percentage, right, went in the water. Obviously, biracial people didn't go in the water. Okay. But all white people who had some whatever percentage it was, killed themselves. All right. So all of them, every last one of them. So now the author is suggesting that all white people are evil. Okay. It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion. So why were they, okay, did they go into Nirvana then? So are we gonna find out at the end of the book that all white people are in heaven and they're at that higher level? They're at a higher level of consciousness. Like, so where are we going with this? Are the
I don't
black
think you.
people are the black
I
people
think
in
you could.
hell?
I think you critiquing a science fiction book that's supposed to be fun
Yeah,
and thoughtful.
but
You like
also
I
look,
said, you daggone
but you
Dr.
have
Ray. You Dr.
yeah,
Ray in the
Bridget.
book. You
No,
Dr.
but
Ray in
look,
the book.
yeah, but hold on a second, Bridget. You got to also understand that science fiction has created religions, right? Scientology was created from from a science fiction book, like literally from a science fiction book. Scientology was created. So people are going to infer. What I'm trying to do is infer what the author is suggesting here. All right, because what happened to the people who were abolitionists, who were good white folk? You know what I mean? Who didn't do any wrong to
But
anybody?
this person is not
What happened?
playing
What
the
about
role
the
of God to say they were bad people, so I got rid of them. He said an event happened, he was going, he not taking up their position at all. He not
so
taking
is
up
it?
the position like the world is a better place. Now that they're going, they clearly
Are
said that
you
it was still
offering?
people,
Are
it
you
was still
offering?
people stuck in
Are
the
you
way that they used to
offering?
do things. And the people that was walking around that can't get used to the idea of them being gone, like, Lord, where are they? I gotta go figure
So
this
see,
out. Like life ain't gonna be right without them.
are you suggesting that the reader should not ask that question? Why are there all the white people go? Because the book is saying
I
the
think
book is
that the reader
suggesting.
should enjoy the journey of this man and woman coming to grips, hooking up in their life after being separated for all 18 years and enjoying the journey and them
but
exploring and
that's
learning
not. But that's not the
themselves or
con.
whatever.
But that's
It
not the
wasn't a point. That,
context.
that girl would
But
never
that's
been
not the
able to
context. But
enjoy
hold
her
on a second.
father if her mother and them was still
But that's
alive.
not the context in which the author is writing in. It's not like they're on a road trip and they're having mother, I mean, son, father, daughter kind of exchanges. That's not the
To a degree,
context.
a little bit. They want to get there. He wants to get there, but the man told him, you got to get your daughter space, da 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 da. So he's like, listen, instead of just like, here's everything I know, here's everything I want from you. He's like taking his time. He let her leave the airport with Zoo. She enjoying her time. It ain't like he like, well, oh my God, my daughter, my daughter. He's still like the daughter's with him, but he's also comfortable that he don't have to worry about her so much either. Although he is in her presence, they still in each other's presence. So it's more about
Yasmin,
them,
yeah,
that journey that they taking together in the world, exploring the world. I'm quite sure a lot of people have felt this way. What if everybody in the world looked like me? And it was just the way I said the world was going to be. But I don't think he's exploring if all the evil people is going, because they're not
I have,
saying that everybody that's left on the world are all just the beautiful people and there's nothing wrong and nothing going.
I have a couple of
He
things.
addressed
I have a
that
couple
people
of
were
things.
still
You
doing
understand?
their same behavior the way they used to do, that some people could not make the adjustment, that they were
I
still
have
behaving at the way they used to behave.
I have a couple of things to ask, but before
hold
that,
on a second. Hold on.
Yasmin would.
We didn't hear from Yasmin at all.
Uh,
And Yasmin liked this book. She's gonna give it a 5,
No, she's
four and a
not.
quarter.
I'm gonna tell you right now, she's not
At
giving it a
least a
five.
4 and a quarter for
I'm gonna tell you
Yasmin.
right now, she's not giving it a five. She might give it a high score, but it ain't gonna be a five. I can put money on that.
okay, let's
Um,
listen to what we're talking about. Let's listen from Yasmin.
I am just reading the book to enjoy the story. I'm not trying to pick it apart or read into that or what does this mean? What does that mean? I'm not looking for hidden messages, hidden agendas, theories, or whatever. I'm just taking the story face value as it is, taking it in and enjoying the journey between Charlie and Sydney and seeing how they're moving, how their relationship is evolving. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focused on anything else. I'm not trying to read anything into the book or whatever. I'm just taking what's
Okay,
given to me.
all right. Yeah, Bridget, I have a couple of things. You said that you should look at it as from the journey from Wisconsin to Alabama or to Mobile. It's the color that was separating or that separated the daughter and the father. And it is the color, the other version of the color, which is which is uniting them again. All right. So it's the color which was this dividing factor, and it's the color which is the uniting factor now.
Right.
I was going to
Technically,
say,
it was the behavior and not the color, though. It was her actions to listen to her brother to falsely accuse him of rape. You know what I'm saying? Like, more so than just because they was white or just because they was black, technically speaking. Because it's a made-up
okay,
construct. We gotta say race is a made-up construct.
yeah, whatever they are showing is that they said that as they have used the word them in there,
Mm, yeah,
in before the incident and after the incident, and they were from the both of the, I mean, eh, from both people that this kind of between the lines it was used as color. So first it was like as a color, then it is used as them or so. So it's basically, so even I was saying, uh, when we are living in an amalgamated society, and I'm
mm,
sure all of the people who are sitting here, they would have somewhere one parent who would be absolutely white and some
sure.
parent who would be absolutely black. So, but how we can imagine about any kind of a human being, about this kind of a thought, even in our subconscious level, or in a utopian world, or in a very what you call it, fictionary world, whatever, it would be very difficult for, I think, for any human being from the human perspective that he would enjoy uh, any kind of a human being belonging to any religion, race, or anywhere else. Like, think of the Aborigines in Australia or some Red Indians, or think about whatever, even if there would be Neanderthals, something would be happening to them, probably we would not be enjoying.
Was that my question? That's my question, because I don't lost thought of the question. You gotta repeat it for me or something. Like, because I just don't like, I don't think that the author is wrong for imagining a world like that. The world is always imagined without us for our whole lives that we know for being here. So for me,
Oh, I'm not
the
suggesting
spiritual
the author's
psychology of
wrong.
it is not
I'm not
far-fetched.
suggesting that the
And
author is wrong.
he's not saying that all the good people stayed and all the bad people went in the water because they was evil and they treated us bad. He ain't even going to all of that. He just went until they gone.
I
Like,
mean,
how we adjusted and
it's
adapted our life, because
for me, if I put it in few
Oh,
words, sentences, is that it's more than a kind of a researched work
and
that
look,
probably understanding in different cultures, perspectives. I mean, it's more like a kind of, I mean, how I would say, a kind of a dream which you
yeah.
saw it while you were sleeping, and you have nowhere, somewhere this thing is out of proportion, the other thing is some out of proportion, but just it was a dream. You can't control the dream was there. There, you either enjoy it or not. You just have to see it, or I mean, just have to experience it. That's how it is at the moment. The plot, I mean, it's going wayward. It's going like kind of no, as Dr. Mahasan also mentioned somewhere here, that in
And
the
look,
chat, that there is no systematic way or kind of uh, school, I mean, like ideal system that how this one will survive or prosper, this kind of thought.
But
I
I
mean,
think
that's
that
what the author is exploring. Yeah, I think
I
that the
think
author
that
is
for
exploring
Sydney,
that. I think that we having a hard time imagining it too. Like,
I
y'all,
think for
y'all
the
having a hard time imagining you and Ray.
I think for the character Sydney, she could be thinking like maybe white people were bad because here she had a racist uncle. She had a racist uncle who I'm sure you know, did not lose a chance of venting about Black people, people of color, anybody else, how,
Married to a
you know,
woman who was passing as white.
married to a woman and passing. So I'm sure he never gave the chance to say something racist, So here, then she had her mom and stepmom forcing her to, by not giving her the truth of why your hair is curly. Well, even white people have curly hair too. So, but why your hair has tight curls, why your nose is wide, why your lips are thicker, why, certain attributes of Black people. So just saying you special, never really saying why, So I sometimes I think that that's a thing of a lot of biracial. Like I work with a lot of biracial kids.
did
Most of them, most of them accept the fact that they'll still when we ask them, because I always ask them, what do you identify as? Because I don't want to assume that I can look at you and say, yeah, they Black, but I don't want to assume that you identify as Black. So they all say biracial. Sometimes they'll say Black. But I have this one kid that I would have never thought he was Black. He identifies as white, but his mother is Black. And he told me that. The first time we met, we're filling out forms and da 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 da. And he says, well, I identify as white, but on my birth certificate, it says Black. And I said, okay. And I said, so which one of your parents is Black? He said, my mother is. So he said, but I don't identify as Black. So I said, oh, okay. Well, if that's what you identify as, then I mean, fine. It don't make me no never mind Black, white, whatever, I don't care. But
Did
okay. And so, and he looks white. Like I would never think. I would never
This
think
this goes back to what
Did you,
Dr. Ray
Ray?
looks.
said. He's not
Yeah,
So he's
passing.
let's come back
He
to the.
just
Yeah,
made a
but
so
choice.
he's
I
not
was going to ask.
passing.
I was
He's
going to ask
choosing.
Tamara.
But I
I
think
was
with
going to. Yeah, I
Sydney,
understand.
I think with
I was.
Sydney is I don't know if she was passing or she was choosing to pass, or this is the world that she's always been in. And so that's why she doesn't know any other world. So that's when she
Yeah,
says
but when you're
us and them.
biracial, you're not passing.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying with her, with Sydney,
I was going
I
to ask
think
a
that
question, which is actually Tamara. You were there when we were reading the book called Vanishing Half.
No,
No,
we
no.
she
didn't read
wasn't.
Vanishing
No.
Half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
All
wasn't
right.
there.
Go
I have
ahead.
a question though, just to go back, and Ray, maybe you can, you Ray or either us, and you can kind of bring us to speed. Remember the incident where the man grabbed Sydney, and his one of the statements was, "You're not going to make her." Did he say something like, "You're not going to make her live like you. You're not going to make her black like you"? Something
That
that the
was the
guy.
Klansman, right? That was a guy who thought he was in like a Klan's outfit, the
Right.
black
Yeah,
guy.
black guy, yeah.
Yeah. How did he know Sydney was different?
Well, she
So
probably looks white.
Now, look at
No, but
her.
he
Probably
said,
because she had a
"That's a
gun
black
and
guy.
she
You
wanted
are
to
not
shoot
going
him
to
up.
make her like you." Something he
Because of the
said.
difference in their
Yeah,
skin
I
tone,
think
because
and I
when they
she
think
were,
it's
looks
called that
white. I think
conversation.
she look. That's the idea I get. I get she presents. If you look at her and if you see her around if you didn't know her or you
Ray,
didn't know whatever, you would think that she was white or not biracial. I think she looks enough whiteness to pass. And of course,
What was
she
but
had a
his statement? His statement was, "You're not going to make her." I can't remember the statement. If anybody can remember,
and
because
plus,
it
and then
depends.
also too, he was kind of crazy too.
He had on
Remember,
a white
he
hood. He
started
had on a Klan
crying.
outfit.
He might have been
Right.
crazy, but he had enough to pay attention to that. That struck me that
I think he
he
saw the
knew
difference maybe in the skin color, like
between him and her.
between her and Charlie.
But before Charlie
okay.
even said my daughter, he did that.
But he knew, remember that was her uncle's house. And her uncle, they knew who he was.
Ah, yes, okay, right. Because so the uncle may have been really difficult for
Then
her
the
her
uncle was a
whole life.
racist, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that we have this perception that because most of us believe because of racism, because of we got to remember this whole thing. Number one, race doesn't exist. That's number one. Okay, that it's a construct that came up where racist archaeologists, white supremacist archaeologists came up with this whole race thing. That's number one. So just understand that we've been living a lie for the last 300 years. That's number one. So because we've been living this lie, as black folk, we want to get everybody on our team, right? So we have bought into the concept that if you have a drop of black in you, you're white, you're black, right? You
That's
got
not the.
one
We didn't
spec.
make that up. Come on, Ray. We didn't make that up. We didn't make that up. Come on.
I didn't say that I just said we didn't make it up.
You
I
said
said that no, I didn't say that we made it up. I said that we follow that belief. We follow that belief structure. We didn't make it up. White archaeologists, or what they call, they're not archaeologists, but they came up with this idea of race. It was actually Charles Darwin's grandfather, I believe, who came up with what is a part of this whole idea, right? So, but we believe it hook, line, and sinker. So anytime somebody even looks ethnic, if they look black, they on our team. And we put everybody on our team. And that's why people can come in our neighborhoods and start businesses, and we support them wholeheartedly because we want to put everybody on our team. So I think what happens is, this idea that Sydney can't choose because we as black folk don't allow her to choose. We can't accept it. No, you black.
No, Ray, you got to go back to the water again. Didn't got nothing to do with
I'm not
Sydney
talking
right
about I'm
now.
not talking about the book. I'm not talking about the book right now. I'm not talking about the book. I'm just talking
You
about
said
how
You
we.
said Sydney. You said
Yeah,
Sydney.
yeah. I'm talking about Sydney, but I'm just talking about when because we're now having a different conversation, right?
Who was these people,
Uh,
Harpo?
this is from
Oh,
the Vanishing Half. This is from The Vanishing Half.
Oh, okay. I was like, go Sydney. That's Sydney as a little girl over there on the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I never read The Vanishing Half.
Yeah, I think we read that book maybe 2 books before you joined.
Here's the date, 20th
August
August 20.
2024. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta check this out one day. I'm gonna
It
check
was
that out.
it was an excellent book. I think Yasmin, didn't you? Or this was
See
this the
this,
book that
see
AI
this
picked?
girl, see this girl on the right? See this girl on
Yep.
the right?
That's
So this is
Sydney in my
probably your
head.
Sydney.
That
Yeah.
one,
No, I
one that
think
looks like Zendaya.
yeah, but
This
I
is
don't think I
probably,
think Sydney looks more Caucasian than her. This young lady looks very ethnic,
Yes.
right?
I
yeah,
think
but
I think
Sydney
Sydney
maybe
looks.
is
I think
the
more,
curly
Sydney
hair,
more. I think
like
yeah.
it
Sydney
was
looks
not
a
the
little bit
color.
more.
Well,
Yeah,
she
on the
could
right,
probably, that picture's one thing, but she probably could pass. If she
You
was
think?
yeah,
with
I
but
that,
don't think this. I
and
don't
your
think this
mother
lady
No.
could
loved you.
pass.
One thing about it sounds like Sydney mother loved her, never treated her bad. She loved her child, and she ain't think nothing different of her.
Let,
Told her she was special,
let,
and she protected her.
let me say this. My coworker, who's my boss actually, uh, she not my boss. I hate saying that. Who's the chairperson?
Yeah.
She's married to Caucasian. Okay, she is Saudi, but black Saudi. Okay, now
Whatever that
if
is.
she's black Saudi, whatever that is, right? But she's African Saudi, whatever. Okay, this is put it as she's Afro Saudi. All right. Now, if you saw her in the mall with her 2 children, you would automatically think she was the maid. She doesn't look anything like these kids. These kids look white. When I say they look white, they look like the poster children for whiteness, and their mama is black. So Emily is her name, right? Emily looks white, but she has a dark skinned black mama, Saudi
Well,
black mama, black. But like, so when I see now that I know Emily, how many other white looking folk that looks like because this kid right here in this picture looks black, it looks way black compared to Emily. Emily looks like a white girl, but Emily is mixed. So I think
I
possibly
was just going to say, you
I think
remember here, you
possibly
see
Sydney looks more like
Obama
hey,
and
Emily.
his mom, Obama's
Hmm.
mom and Obama's grandparents
yeah,
in the center.
Say that again.
yeah,
Obama's mom here,
Yeah, Obama's mom and his grandparents. Yeah,
yeah, here
and we
his
yeah.
know
mom
we
with the when he's in the pirate's dress outfit. This is his
That's why
mom.
Kendrick say complexion don't mean a thing. It's really just a non-factor, non-starter. And so to write a book about it, like Auntie says, go ahead, Auntie. You said I'm about to read what you said.
Where are we talking,
We
Bridget?
talking about. We said, we talk about race was a social construct, but then you saying as a social tool to justify inequality, not as a scientific truth. When
Yeah,
you
this is
said
the
that,
same thing that Dr. Ray was saying, right? With anthropologists, right? But it wasn't to include everybody, it was to
no
exclude a group of people.
exclude people. Yeah, to
Yeah,
say
to exclude.
the white race was better.
And this was
And
not
and
from
so
that. This
that's
was
why
not
I
from
said it's just
people.
like
Yeah,
a little reverse psychology kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But what it look like? It ain't saying life ain't beautiful for everybody. I don't even think the book is saying that. Like now that they gone, our life is so much better. Yay! I don't even think they
I
saying
think
that.
it's
They
more
just
like what if? What if it wasn't there?
yeah, we
What
learning
if
to survive without them. Like we're not here on this earth. Our survival is not based solely on their present. If they wasn't here, we would still have to survive as people all around the
I
world
I
that
need the
survive, and
Shawnee.
it don't. And in some countries and villages and stuff, and
I want
they
the
may all
Shawnee.
be the same people, and some of them may be different. I just think that
the screen protector because
the
this one lets
the attack the author for saying anything about color or race or whatever, it's just not right. Like, I don't think he's saying that because he's not criticizing
These,
nobody else's thing. He
so these
talking
are
about
the,
their character, how people could do better. He talking about things like that, but he's not criticizing anybody like that.
so these characters are also biracial.
Yeah,
Well, I knew all of them were.
yeah.
And some of them
And
don't identify as Black because of their own thinking of not being good enough or not. It's better to erase that half. I'm not saying all of them, but we know that some
You
of
see
them.
on the other foot, like you said, even go back to President Obama. On the other side, somebody was like, I don't give a crap who your mama is. You ain't one of us. You ain't this. You ain't that. So it ain't that a person, if they had to pick or whatever, a person, no matter what blood in them, they shouldn't have to pick a side. That would mean we would have to carry around our DNA by blood and be like, I'm more of this than that. And that's why they don't do it, because they know they got some dark stuff in them too. That's why they don't do it. That's why they don't
I
walk
have one
around with
more.
a car going,
I have
I'm all
one more
Wales,
thing to
I'm
say.
all Scottish. That's why they
Yeah.
don't do it.
Let's come back to the book, and I have one more thing to say before
Maybe that's
it's
why the water called them.
9:20. Yeah.
Say that again,
I
Auntie.
was
Maybe that's why the event said, okay, this is what you have. This, okay, so you're gonna
so
deal.
water was
Yeah.
The water made
immediately
the
what?
decision.
No, I
Yeah.
was going to say, I mean, chemically or I mean, chemically, I was from the chemistry point of view. I was saying the water became so much knowledgeable that he knew the white genetic marker or the white people, and then he was able to like attract them. Anyway, what I was saying, going to say rather, that letter which Charlie has kept, probably that could save and make a bridge between the two, in Sydney and Charlie. That would explain what her mom wrote it, and he read it once and never read it again, and it was still closed with him. So probably some
Yeah.
point in time that would reveal, and that would make the bridge between the two.
That would be the only way for her to believe him, because if he just
We
verbally
might
said
open,
something like,
yep,
you're
later might be
lying.
open in the future, down
Yeah,
the line.
yeah.
Yeah.
And second part, we are still not sure. The people in the Orange County, the Orange Beach,
Orange Beach.
they are either biracial or somehow how they escape. We don't know yet for sure. Anyway, these are 2 points for the future coming to my mind. Anybody else has to say anything else before we wrap up tonight's meeting? It's
No,
past
how much
9:10.
further we gonna get
We close.
along in
We
this
we
book?
finish it. The last
Okay, that's what
maybe
I was
like
thinking.
around 80 some pages are remaining, something like that.
Right, and y'all know I won't be in class next Tuesday, but give me. I said a five. I said a five already. Ray always trying to make me change my mind. And then I just knew Yaz was giving it a five. She not. I still gotta give it. I'm gonna give it a five because I'm enjoying it. I had to
You
stop
didn't
myself. I
finish
was
the.
like,
You didn't finish.
You
Did you
have
finish the
finished the
book?
wanted
book.
to
It
finish
looks
it,
to
but I
me.
was a good. I stopped at 180. I did read the next chapter too. I maybe close to 200, but I did stop and I didn't continue because I didn't want to get tripped up in the discussion today and be like, oh, this happened and that happened. That's why I made a hard stop. I didn't want to get tripped up in the be like,
Hard
but that
stop.
ain't
All
gonna happen
right.
in Orange Beach kind of thing. So I'm excited to
All
see if
right.
they do it, don't make it to Orange Beach. I'm excited to see if Charles marries Serafina. I'm excited to see if
Oh,
Sydney and Fela hook up. And I'm
oh.
decided, I want to see who's gonna be
So
the
you
new
you
king and
want
queen of the
you want
Mardi
to have
Gras.
the all the juicy ending for
Yeah.
I'll
everybody.
check it extra for this
Sweet
evening
ending for
Halloween.
everybody. Yeah, I will ask you,
I
would you
kind of
be
have a feeling
happy?
that it's gonna wrap up nicely.
I
Yeah,
hope
me
I'm
so.
too.
just
I hope so.
painting a fairy tale, so
Yeah,
I feel it's gonna wrap up nicely.
yeah.
I
I
Candy,
want
don't know.
Sydney to find closure.
I feel like something bad gonna happen.
no,
I
no,
hope.
Candyland finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
what
mean,
what would be the ideal finishing though? What would be the ideal finish? That
I,
Sydney realizes that she's black?
I
I think
guess
Sydney
No,
knows that she's
I
black.
think she realized she black. She just
I
having a
think
hard
maybe
time dealing with it. She realized
accepting
it.
No,
that,
no, no.
right. I think
I'd
it's
rather
the
fix that.
acceptance. I think
yeah, the letter
accepting
would.
her father and accepting that
But this is a better
he didn't
one,
leave her because he wanted to,
especially because
you know.
I was
I
going
think
to
it,
ask Bridget,
especially because of this.
you would be happier that if they don't reach or they don't go or they don't settle down in the Orange Beach,
Oh yeah, I
or
want to
you would
see
be
what's going.
hell in
I
the
want to know.
or
I
in the
definitely
Olive.
want to know. I want to know what's happening in Orange Beach. I want to see what Auntie and them over there doing. They probably over there struggling. They probably over there struggling and can't grow their crops right.
I
They
want
probably something going on in
So
Orange
if
Beach,
that
and they
is
be like,
happier
"Man, I've
land,
been
then
wanting
what
to
will
come to the Mardi
if
Gras. When could I
yeah,
come to
but
Mobile with y'all?"
yeah, but
What
if
is
that
this
one is a
for?
happier land, what you want them to do?
They don't work.
It doesn't work.
I want them to see. I want her to. I would like to see what's happening in Orange Beach or whatever, but I gotta almost got a feeling like they never gonna get to Orange Beach for some reason. That's how I feel, like they never gonna get to Orange Beach because they just gonna embrace their reality there. And like I said, Fila and Sydney gonna have them a nice little baby, and Seraphina and Charles. Oh, then they would, that was
Okay,
Sydney would
I will ask you
that
more
would be a big
related
age
to
gap, 18 years,
yeah,
but it's not impossible
who?
with Charles and Seraphina. Ain't no way that woman gave him no bath and then slept with him the next day that they ain't gonna hook up. That wasn't no
Okay,
drive-by for them, I don't
who
think.
you think Sydney is going to end up with?
Fila, the guy, the son.
The son?
Not the
He
zoo.
likes her.
What about Zoo?
He
What
made
about
it known.
Zoo?
no,
Zoo
Zoo
don't
is a
like Sydney
candidate.
like that.
Yeah,
Zoo don't
zoo,
like Sydney.
zoo.
Zoo was out hanging,
Mm.
having them a good time his own. Zoo said he had a good time. He ain't even talked about his father. He's like, he ain't even like, I'll be glad when my father come get me. He's like, man, I had so much fun
Zoo,
at the
but
club.
I got the feeling that Zoo was transgender.
Maybe
Yeah.
so. Like I couldn't figure it out. Maybe so.
I got the feeling
I could kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
I got the feeling
But
was
I
one
transgender.
agree,
more,
Tamara.
one more question. Uh, do you think that like this place, what was the name? I'm now slipping out of my mind. The place,
Mobile.
Alabama, Mobile. Do you think that there would be no crime at all? Nothing, no police, nothing, no
He didn't
needed.
say in their area, but he didn't say he already said that the other spots people doing whatever it is they doing. He was like, and if you see some gas, give me some gas. He told us steal him some gas too. They take something from you. They came after them with the gun. Remember they came. They didn't have weapons or whatever. But remember when they got separated from Sailor and all of that stuff, they kind of like took them in. They like guarding their little territory to keep people out. I guess I don't. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
I mean, even if you see one of the sons of the king was kind of like agitated when he saw them, and then and
Cause he look at
what
them
was
as
the
like he seemed like he the more militant one out the family.
And they
yeah.
were like outsiders. And he was like, why they keep bringing these
Why
outsiders in?
yeah, like
Yeah.
We
yeah.
fine, just the way we are.
Yeah,
But
Mm-hmm.
and then
now
Nona,
Sailor got away, right? Didn't Sailor get away? He ran.
He didn't
Yeah,
get
he
away,
ran.
but he didn't come because
So,
he
but
said he was.
they
No,
haven't
he got
found him
away
yet.
because he had the gun. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
why
got
they didn't
away.
capture him.
he
So I
didn't
do
want to be
wonder.
captured, right? It wasn't that he got
So I
away.
do
He
wonder if
wasn't.
they find him, or if he finds them,
He might go.
because his whole goal was, I'm gonna get you where you
Get the heck.
need to be, and this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
In order for me to, he had his retirement plan
No, he
because he
gonna
loves to
create that
fly.
open link. Remember, Charles
Right.
him and the king going to that barn somewhere. He gonna do something and do some tinkering or whatever. He
Well,
gonna
you
get
too
that
far
bridge to
along.
open up, and then
You too far
Sailor gonna
along.
be
That's in
happy
chapter.
because
No,
Sailor
she
not
she
gonna need.
she, she making a
She
prediction.
made. Oh,
And
okay.
that's my
Yeah,
prediction too. I predict
yeah,
that
because they keep
Charles
talking
is
about them
gonna fix
overlink
that
things.
radio or whatever that's in the barn. Charles is gonna fix it.
Fix that
Yeah,
radio.
And then
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
communicate with Skipper.
yeah,
And they communicate
that's
with
the
Sailor.
they
But also
probably
too, I
can.
wonder
Mm.
if this is just what
Does
happened
Sailor
in
want
the
to be
United
communicated
States.
with? Now Sailor know
yeah.
his way around there. Now, do Sailor was like Sailor made a hard stop. Be like, this is as far as I go.
If this is just happened in the United States,
Yeah.
the question is, how did the United States get cut off from everybody else?
Well, we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
That's
we
what's
talked about it
unrealistic.
last.
That's unrealistic. That
Well,
the country would be invaded within days. But this is
Yeah.
fantasy, and I want to keep
I
within the
wasn't here. I
fantasy,
was getting
the
iron
Thank
fantasy
you.
lines of the
Thank
book.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ray. Thank you.
I was getting my iron infused. So I wonder maybe that if that's what the radio is for, to maybe either connect with other people within the United States who is looking for peace, who is looking
Yeah,
for
in the
someplace
whole of the
to
Alabama, there is nobody to fix the radio.
right. And that's
Well, let me tell
unrealistic
you
too.
something. If you lived in another country and they was like, ain't no all white folks going, ain't nothing but black
Ain't
folks, and
nobody
you
gonna
be like,
leave.
I ain't going. They tell us, stay away from them, don't go. Yeah, they got Muslims.
Or something might
Somalis.
get you
Stay
too.
away from them black folks. Stay away from them black Muslims. Don't talk to them black Muslims. Run
It
past our
could be
line
him.
again. Jump
And you
over it.
could
And
you
won't come
consider
say
yourself
hi.
British, but the water could see you. The water could be like,
Well,
nope,
yeah, well, I'm gonna get
you
you
white.
too.
We taking you
Yeah.
too.
And if they
Yeah.
come, there's a lot of water. Oh yeah, I know why they can't come. They'll fall in the water. They can't
Yep.
come, right?
Yep.
The water
Doctor,
became the
they can't come.
exterminator.
They will fall in the water. And
Yep.
they like, oh heck no. How long a flight is that? Oh heck no. I ain't going to the States because we gonna fall in the water.
All in the water. Yep.
So I
Who's
am
going?
interested in hearing and reading what happens next.
I think
Alright.
I think Skipper is gonna come
Sailor.
and save them.
Sailor.
Sailor's
Sailor.
gonna come.
Do
But
they
do
need
they
to be
need
saved?
saving? Thank you. They don't need to be saved. Saved from what?
See that's where I miss
Saved
y'all
from
missing
all
me
of
with
that
that.
good food
Y'all
and good
missing
eating
y'all
in them
missing
hot
me with
baths
that.
with incense and lotion. That
Oh
girl,
yeah, that's
that
what I
girl
mentioned.
hair, that girl's hair was matted. She hadn't took a bath in I don't know how many days. She was so
Y'all
happy to get a
crazy.
bath. My
Y'all
gosh.
crazy. But yeah, that's what I meant to ask you, Yasmin. What do
Huh?
you? Aren't you from Mississippi, right? Or you from Louisiana?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Never mind. Scratch. Scratch.
I'm
All right,
going to
guys. It's
Tennessee.
9:30.
I'm going to Tennessee this week though. I'm gonna go to the Civil Rights Museum and a few more things. I'm going to Memphis, inshallah.
I
I'm
heard
gonna let
Memphis
y'all
is
know.
cool. Memphis is
Yeah,
cool. My
check it
man
out.
Kevin Brooks. Kevin, reach out to. I'll talk. Give me a number. I tell Kevin Brooks that he's a good guy. He's doing stuff in Memphis.
He is.
Well, our next meeting,
Is he
I will be
married? Because I
home
got my
in my
friend, she not
pajamas
married. She like
in the
40
snow.
some years old. She looking for a husband. Is he
What
married?
time? Oh,
You know, I don't even
Kevin-
know what
Kevin
Kevin's situation is. To be honest with you,
Not for me, for her.
I don't know what his situation is. But you know, I'll give you his number. You tell him that Ray. You know, we good friends.
He
You can figure it
know
out.
Clarence Thomas too.
No. We
That
we don't
wasn't
run in the
y'all
same
wasn't
circles.
neighbors.
No,
Oh, okay.
he's Kevin is extremely liberal. He's one of the liberal types.
Okay.
He's
All right,
he's
y'all. This been real. This was a
Well,
long
the glint
session, an
in your
hour and a
eye,
half.
Dr. Ray.
huh?
Huh?
I saw that glint in your eye when you said liberal.
Well, if I got something good to
exactly,
say, I'm
right?
gonna let y'all know that I'm gonna put it in the chat, but I won't put it in the chat till like next Monday. But I do want to finish this on my laptop because I got a book that I want to take with me. My Kamala
Who's
Harris book is
picking?
at the library. The
Who's picking the
107
next
days.
book?
Oh, who
Yeah,
picks
who's
the
up
next
next?
book?
Who is up next? Who's up
I
next?
think
Masin, I
I
think.
don't know who Bridget. I think I'm after Bridget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, Auntie.
But check
Yeah,
it. Check
No,
it.
you are after Bridget.
Yeah,
Because
you
we
have to
came
be
in book
Auntie.
club at the same time.
Absolutely. You're after Bridget for sure.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
I
next
have,
week would be our conclusive meeting on this book.
okay.
So next week we'll meet.
So I need to have a book by Monday.
Put my 5
By
down,
next
Austin.
week.
Like I said, unless I say something different, unless I just something really just mess me up at the end. But
We
I
Right
will
just
now,
saw
cover
so
it.
many.
I don't
I
think we're
just
gonna
saw
get messed up.
so many beautiful touches of humanity, just like right there. And it could be with like anybody.
The
It's just
only
that this author
the only
explored
thing
a
that's gonna
different point of view.
reduce it to a 5 for you is all the white people come back and bring
I
you
don't
bring
mind.
back.
I don't mind. They could be born again. They went in that water for a long time. They be born now. They can come back. Come on back.
All the
Be
white
back.
people come back
Baptized.
and be back
Yeah,
in charge.
I don't got a problem. They got the problem. I don't got no. You
Yeah.
said what?
What
You
would
said
happen
what?
if they become back in charge
Well,
and back?
Be like, oh
Back to
dang,
the
there goes the
prison.
Well,
neighborhood.
let's
Charlie
hope
goes
There
back
let's
to
goes the
the
hope that
prison.
they are
McDonald's.
born again with the
There goes the airport. There goes the solar panels. There goes the
there
But
goes the
then
grid.
it could
You
be,
neighborhood.
said Charlie
it
goes
could
back to
be, it
prison.
was just a dream. Who knows? It's fantasy. So it could, at the end, the last chapter, it could be, it was all a dream.
And
Yeah,
that
but
would be a
okay.
nightmare.
That
It
would
was,
be.
it could be Charles. It could be Charles wake up and it was a dream.
You know what? That's probably what it's going to be too. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Both of you
It's
stop.
not a
We don't even
fantasy.
want that out in the universe.
This is
Stop.
not a fan. This book is not a fantasy.
Oh,
It's science fiction.
oh, okay.
But it could come back. It could, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's it.
How it
Honestly, I
is
don't
related to
think that's the way
science?
the book ends.
Wait, Bridget, how it is related to science with anything?
I don't know. Yasmin put it in that genre.
Well,
I
I
didn't
don't
know
think
where to
it's
put it.
science
I said,
fiction.
I don't know what kind
Yeah,
of book it
it
is. Somebody asked me, what kind? I said, I don't know what genre to put it
But
in.
Oh,
It has to be
let's see.
dystopian.
science fiction.
It's utilitarian, sort of like Wakanda was science fiction, pretty much.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
what
Yeah.
if, a humanistic take on what if.
What if?
A long, long time ago, when I
But they
was
was happy with the
reading a
Wakanda.
movie,
They was happy with Wakanda because the white guys always was in the picture at the end. So they was happy with that. This one, because it ain't no people. They like, uh-oh, like this
okay,
can't be no real book, but it's
yeah, I
not a real
mean,
book.
And I
I
say
was
science fiction because
Okay,
it's
it's
paranormal activity.
Yeah,
You
Chat
know, it's
GPT
paranormal
not
activity.
normal.
says
I like that. I like that.
speculative fiction, science fiction. This novel explores an alternative reality where all white people vanish, prompting society to rebuild in unexpected ways. A dystopian
yeah,
post-apocalyptic.
dystopian. Yeah, it is
It is
dystopian.
a
Yeah.
it is a setting. Its
When
setting is
all white
dramatically
people did not
transformed.
disappear, maybe as quote unquote a race, but anyway, let's wait till we get to next week. I cannot
So
wait.
that's what it says. It says it's a setting dramatically transform America, grappling with the consequences of this mass disappearance and restructuring. And it also says it's magical realism, as
I mean,
magical realism
questions.
elements.
Yeah, the more we discuss, the more questions will pop up. I was
Yep,
going to ask this one. I was subsiding this. How do you feel the pain for Sydney,
a lot,
Bridget?
a lot.
My heart goes out to Sydney a lot because she had to survive in that, like the point that she was watching her people drown and in the water
So
like that.
whether her
That
mom
was
was white or
heartbreaking.
black, she lost her mom.
Sure, she lost her
Yeah,
whole family.
she lost the whole community.
She's a young girl, and she was in there surviving on them beans with that gun. Like she was surviving. Yeah, she was in survival mode for a whole year or so before she called her father. And she never been to Chicago. She had been to whatever
She's
Ferguson,
never
whatever
been anywhere.
Wisconsin, pretty
I mean,
much.
she's hardly an adult, hardly an adult, just
I would like
barely
to
an
know
adult.
why did the aunt decide to leave her alone?
Because
And
I
she knew
think the aunt would have
Aunt
had
was
to
never with
because the
her.
aunt
explain
knew that
that
Sydney was
she
special.
The
wasn't
That's
aunt
why
white.
was
she left a note
always,
on the gate. But why she didn't
yeah.
take it with her, that's my question. She knew she
Because I
was
think
special.
the aunt would have
She
had to
knew
Mm.
game.
explain that she's been passing all these years.
Yeah,
But
but
she knew
Sydney, and everybody
Sydney
knows that
was
Sydney's mixed as well. Why
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
she just take her with her?
I think that's why she would have had to explain that she was
I
not
She
don't
white.
left a
know.
note.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
And
But
also
we'll
too,
see.
Let's read it and find
did
it out.
is it really the aunt that left the note? Like you don't, he says the aunt left the note, but
Good question.
was it really
Agnes,
the
is she
aunt that
really the
left the
aunt?
note? Because I would think you, like you said, why this happened, for whatever reasons, it didn't happen to her. Why didn't you swoop in and take me with you? Why Orange Beach? Like what does that got to do with anything?
Maybe
And
she could have
two,
been from Orange Beach initially.
could have, well, no, well, maybe. And then also too, it's like, um, oh God, I forgot my train of thought. Yeah. Was it the aunt that really left the note? Like, why didn't you see the aunt? Why did the aunt come to the house in the middle of the night and leave this note? A year, what wasn't it almost a year later? If you want to, there's more of us, where this is where we are. When the aunt knew How would she get there? The girl didn't know how to drive. She had no any survival. Well, not I'm not gonna say she didn't have any survivors because she did, but she didn't know how to drive.
Oh, they gonna be, it's Orange Beach gonna be, I just got a vision. Orange Beach gonna be bumping better than
I don't think
Mobile.
it's
I
gonna
got
be
that
what she
idea.
think it is.
I think
I
Orange
don't
Beach
thi-
gonna be different, gonna be like even
Right.
more
I
I
than
don't
will
think
have
it's
to
Mobile.
gonna
leave
be. All
now.
right, we gotta go
I
because
would have, yeah, we got to
it's
go.
getting
I
hot in
have
my
got to go.
office and I gotta open
You
my
can
door.
continue if you want to. You can continue.
No,
I
I
have no
have
issue.
work to do because we may have to be
I'm
on.
tired.
No, let's go.
I
Yeah,
gotta
we
go.
out. I
It's
gotta
hot in
get
my
some.
office. I gotta open my
All
door.
right. Sound like
All
we out.
right.
Good
All right.
Okay.
class, good
Night.
group meeting.
Bye. Have a good
Oh, I
day.
Good
can't
night,
wait to show.
everyone.
I can't wait to show Ray critiqued in this book to the author. It's like, no, I'm not Ray. I'm only kidding. But I keep going. Our APEA book club is reading the book. Our APEA book club is reading the book. So somebody might check us out. Be like, oh,
Sure,
well,
sure.
it
You
is what
can
it
share
is.
with your friends.
I'm gonna watch his interview too. I'm gonna watch it. I'm planning on
All
watching
right.
it though.
Oh,
All right,
All
talk
right,
to you guys.
everybody. Good
thank you.
night.
Bye-bye.
All
Good
right,
night,
sound
Good
like-
everyone.
night.
Everybody in
Night.
Riyadh, are you guys having rain like we're having here?
Yeah, we are having rain.
Okay.
2 days off
It
from
was,
school.
Yeah, we
yeah,
had
Oh,
2 days.
yeah.
What about you? Yeah, it's 2 days.
Oh, 2
yeah,
days
even,
off from school.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
we had 2
days
online.
days
off.
online.
But it was online. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
but
not
not
off.
for
Yeah,
us.
but from home.
Not for us.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in the
But in the
revision week.
Eastern province and Central
Yeah, it
province
looks like
was
everything's
on, they
there.
were online.
Yeah, we were
We're
definitely
still
out for 2
transferring.
days.
Yeah,
Still transferring.
yeah.
We going to the building.
What
No,
about
I'm
tomorrow? I
praying.
think we.
We don't
I'm
I think
never
praying
tomorrow
for
we
one
off
go
more
too.
day.
online.
I hope
Never.
so.
Are you So you're not getting rain in Dhahran?
In
No, we have
Udalua,
rain.
yes.
We've been off. We've been off for 2 days at Dhahran.
And you had to go to school, Yasmin?
Yes. I'm like Saudi Aramco schools were not out.
But
Oh,
Saudi
wow.
Aramco's academies were out because I didn't go to work for 2 days. We
Yeah,
taught
but I'm talking about,
online.
but because she's in the compound area or that one, she don't have to drive that much more, so that it
So
is
am
just
I.
really,
And
So
hey,
am
look
I.
when you,
We were still out.
hey, look when you're making 100,000 reals a month, then
Don't
you
think
gotta
that. Don't even
when you make
believe that at all.
when you make 100,000 wow a month, you go to work,
We
rain, sleet, or
wish.
snow.
But Yasmin is in the school, right? You're in the K9.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm in the institute. So,
yeah.
but we're different. We're far apart. We're not close by each other anyway.
Oh, whatever you are doing, man.
Well, I'm hoping for another day, but be safe wherever you are. Is that your cat?
Yeah.
He's
Oh, he's
huge.
big.
Bye,
Jesus.
everyone. Good night.
Good night,
Bye.
Good
Sabrina.
night,
Sabrina.
everyone. Look at him. He's huge, but he's pretty.
Yeah, she's trying to
Hey.
play with the laptop now.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys, we'll see
All right.
you
Have a good
next
evening,
week.
everybody.
Bye.
All right.
Good day for Khadijah and them. All right. Assalamu alaikum and
Bye
good
for
night.
now. Walaikum